There was a man who woke up every morning, put on his house robe, stagger into the kitchen, turn on his coffee pot, go outside, get his newspaper. He would walk back into the house, pour himself a cup of coffee, sit at the table, and read his newspaper. One morning while he was doing his normal morning routine and he went outside to get his newspaper, he saw that a neighbor had a dog who had run out, get the newspaper and bring it back to him. So he got his newspaper, went back in the house, got his coffee, and was sitting down reading the newspaper. But he thought, wow, that would be nice to have a dog that would do that. I think I'll get me a dog. So that day he went to the pet store and he bought himself a dog and brought it home. He named the dog Rover, and Rover's training began. Next morning, man got up, put on his robe, went to the kitchen, turned on the coffee pot, opened the door and let little Rover go outside and do his number. And when Rover was done doing his little number, he would go pick Rover up, walk over, pick up the newspaper, and huddle them together and walk back inside, got his coffee, fed the dog, and then would sit down and read his newspaper. This had gone on for about a month. The man was getting a little frustrated because the dog just was not bringing his newspaper. Matter of fact, he had created more jobs for himself, but he would just do the same thing every day. So one morning when he got his robe on and he went towards the kitchen, he saw Rover standing at the door, so he opened the door, left it open, went over, turned on his coffee pot, and went to check on Rover when all of a sudden Rover was coming up with the newspaper in his mouth. The man was ecstatic. This was awesome. He gave Rover his morning meal, and then he grabbed the newspaper. This man started cussing up a storm. The dog had teeth marks in the newspaper, not to mention all the dog slobber all over it. He was not happy. The man did the best he could to salvage the paper and read it. He just thought about poor little Rover, because I guess I'm just going to have to get rid of this dog. It just ain't working out. As he had his coffee, reading his little newspaper, he had an idea, and he made a phone call. That next morning, he got up, put on his robe, went to the front door where old Rover was waiting to go outside, and opened the door, went to the coffee pot, turned it on. He tapped his fingers on the counter a few minutes, and then he went outside, and here come Rover with the newspaper. Rover came up wagging his tail. The man patted him on his head, took the newspaper, gave him a treat and his morning meal. So from this day forward, little old Rover had become part of the morning routine. The phone call he had made was to the newspaper delivery person and told him he needed his newspaper wrapped in that plastic that they put for on rainy days, and he needed it every single day. Training a dog to do something takes a lot of patience and a little bit of love. And little old Rover, he was now known as Rover the Retriever.